lost a lot of respect for Sabonis. You don't shake guys' hands after you lose. I don't respect that. I once left the court when we lost in Game 7 of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I went to my locker room and I sat down and I said, this don't feel right. And I walked back out on the court and I showed everybody love. You lost. Deal with it. Pay your respect. That was whack to me. That's whack. But I wouldn't necessarily even say lost respect. But I don't respect that, and that's whack.
After a hard-fought series against the Sacramento Kings, Draymond Green called out Domantas Sabonis, who responded as such when asked about the quote you just heard.
I'm going to get this out of the way real quick. Draymond Green had comments about you not shaking hands after the game was over. Do you hear those comments? Do you care about those comments or care to respond to those comments?
I don't know. After the game, they all need, I don't even know how to respond.
In essence, a non-answer. After his initial chiding of Sabonis, Green would praise De'Aaron Fox, Trey Lyles, Terrence Davis, Harrison Barnes, head coach Mike Brown, Malik Monk, and others. So look, the boiling point of the series, as we all know, came in Game 2 when Sabonis was writhing in pain after Green stomped on his chest. Draymond would receive a flagrant 2, or as my dad calls him, Draymond. Warriors fans would point to the start of the exchange where Sabonis, when on the ground, grabbed Draymond's leg. Now, Philadelphia 76ers head coach Doc Rivers would have a lengthy response about this entire exchange, but the Athletic's Rich Hoffman wrote of the main point, quoting Rivers, "If we're going to start punishing the retaliators and not the instigators, then we got a problem in this league. The NBA would ultimately suspend Green for Game 3, but the Warriors would pounce on Sac in San Francisco 114-97, and it is quite clear the Kings needed that game badly. And that would be a pivotal series-shifting loss for Sacramento. Many critics are simply asking, wasn't this the same Draymond who said during his team's victory parade in 2018, quote, "There's a lot of guys in this league, they're soft. We're just cut from a different cloth. We just ain't cut the same. I told one of them dudes from the Cleveland Cavaliers after the game, he tried to shake my hand. I said, Tristan, we ain't cut the same." We'll link, by the way, to that interview if you want to see it in the description box below. However, leaving the field of play, not uncommon, kind of just a thing that happens when emotions are running high, guys win or lose, and they need that moment of peace and to reflect on their thoughts. And here are a few of those examples. Tom Brady did not shake Nick Foles' hand multiple times after losses when they competed against one another, including the Super Bowl. The bad boy Pistons, when being ousted from the playoffs, left the court early and refused to shake hands with Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls in 1991. Isaiah Thomas would go on the record regretting it, while center Bill Laimbeer did not. The Pistons, years prior, had the same done to them with Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and the Boston Celtics. The great LeBron James would decline shaking hands with the Memphis Grizzlies after a series filled with bad blood, with the root of it all coming from Dillon Brooks, free agent to be Dillon Brooks. There was 14.1 seconds remaining on the clock before the Grizz were eliminated. Two-time Super Bowl winner Peyton Manning left the field early when his Indianapolis Colts lost the big game to Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, opting to not shake his fellow quarterback's hand. Same goes for Cam Newton, who left Super Bowl 50 before the customary handshake as well. Then there's Pittsburgh Steelers great Hines Ward, who chose not to shake hands with the Green Bay Packers after his team's Super Bowl loss. Draymond would reflect on a time he too left the court early. "I once left the court when we lost in Game 7 of the 2016 Finals to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I went to my locker room and I sat down and I said, this don't feel right. And I walked back out on the court and I showed everybody love. Pay your respect." How do you feel? Comment below.